Hello, welcome back to my studio at the Spirit of Watercolor with Linda. Yes, I'm doing some painting down here, and we're ready to do part 2 of Drybrush, right? We did this where we were practicing Drybrush. First we used the sketch pad, and we've been working our different kinds of brushes. If you haven't seen that video, please check it out. Drybrush part 1, and then we went to a painting, and then my computer had problems and I could not finish this sketch. But what we're going to do now is we're going to take this, and it's not quite finished. There's some masking fluid up here, and I was going to put in the rest of the tree and so forth. I'm probably just going to continue from this to a larger piece of paper, and I'm going to use, I think it's half of an 18 by 24. I have some nice Fabriano paper, and I have cold press and rough, and so we'll decide which one to use. I actually think the rough paper is great for Drybrush, but it's not great for a lot of other things. So let's see which one I decide to use, right? And because this is versatile, you can get a nice Drybrush with cold press, plus you can do your other techniques really nicely on it too. And then we will call this finished after we have this sketch, and we take the Drybrush we learned and we implement it into our final painting. I'll draw that up, get that on here, and then we'll just, get this Drybrush technique implemented into a full-blown painting today. So I'm really glad you came. I'm trying the lights different in my studio here. I'm trying to videotape here instead of in front of the green screen, because if you have noticed in some of my videos, I have this nice green halo, and I grant you it's a spiritual color, and I do like green a lot, but I don't know if I like my hair being green, although I am Irish and Scottish as well. So whatever, but I'm going to sometimes do some filming right here. I might actually end the videos without me in it. I can talk and you can just see a painting finished or something like that. Just until I master the green screen. I've tried and I have not. So if you have comments on how to get that halo out, I've tried so many things. Maybe you have a solution I haven't thought of. So let's get to our Drybrush painting, and let's finish part 2, or finish our Drybrush. We'll be doing part 2. Stay tuned. Here we go. So let's go to part 2 of Drybrush. I did choose this, not the rough paper. I went with the cold press. I feel like I can do more things on cold press and still get that bumpy texture of the paper when I dry brush. And I wanted to go more vibrant paints. We're still going to maybe use this sketch from time to time. It's kind of expensive sketch paper, this Stonehenge, but it may still turn out to be a painting. Sometimes what I do, and this may be unusual, I don't know, I go back and forth between what I call my sketch and my actual finished painting, but oftentimes this one completes as a painting too. That takes the judgment off of these. I think sometimes with paintings when we're doing them, I'm also guilty of this. I'll look at this and go, I don't know if I like it, I don't know, and other people aren't judging it like I am. It may not be doing what I expect. It doesn't mean that what I've done is wrong, or that it's not something somebody will enjoy, or that I will enjoy when it's finished. So you always want to take these paintings to finish. But I am going to, what helps me to get through this is going back and forth between, this is my larger piece. I cut a 18 by 24 Fabriano cold press, and now it's 12 by 18, which will fit in like a 16 by 20 frame, matte frame. And I always think ahead about standard sizes now, because I've learned over time you want to do that. And then I also, like I said, these paints, the colors weren't very vibrant to me, and I really love and think I want to work on using some of my Quinacridone colors in this painting, and I may use some of these as well. I did like the blues and so forth, but my browns and things I pulled were kind of muddy. I have these gorgeous Quinacridone deep gold. It's sort of like a sienna, burnt sienna brown. I'm talking about browns, earth tones. I have a Quinacridone sienna, which is very vibrant, orangey brown. Then I have a lovely, I was thinking I would try, I have Quinacridone rose, and I have Quinacridone pink, which I haven't used in ages, and I also have magenta. So those are purpley, pinky colors that are just gorgeous. Transparent. I want to get some transparent. Because I didn't finish part one, the tree there. So I'm gonna put this somewhere to dry. And we'll look at this. You can see how I'm tilting my board has been with these yogurt cups. Now I've got it a little lower lift because this is a smaller piece, and 30 degrees is different on a smaller piece. So now I wanted to work on that tree a little there and just sponge in and find out. And now I have the branches in. Still feel a little bit of masking fluid, I think. I don't know, maybe not. I think it's gone. Yeah, okay. You don't want to leave masking fluid in here. All right, and we're gonna, whoops, put some tree in there. Let's see, with my sponge. Okay, here's our sponge. We're gonna bring in a couple things I'd like to try. This is, we'll pull in some green with what brush? Sap green. Beautiful sap green. And we will also pull in some of that green gold maybe. And we also, I want to pull in some of this blue as well, just because it's kind of the same, and just for some cool color behind, which will create more the cools and warms of greens. And you will create variation and perspective. And this is just my tree. I'm just filling in now. Oh, that's the branch. Okay, I was like, whoa. Okay, now let's try some green in there. Get some of that going. I love sponging. It's just real easy for me. I think it's something you also want to practice and figure out what you like about it. And there we are. And then if we want to, we can keep going, and we can bring in some of the yellow green. I just want to get that on the palette with a different brush. Here. I was hearing people say on the one of the channels I watch that you can worry too much about wasting your paint, and they said you're not painting if you're not wasting paint. I thought that was an interesting comment and a good one to think about. You know, if you're not really using this, you know, and expecting to waste some too, then you're really just not getting enough paint out here, right? Well, the green gold, where are you on there? Okay, I don't know. Maybe I didn't get enough out. This is going to be a painting which is going to get a lot of, here, I'll mix that darker green into that green gold. I'll have some lovely green going there. I was going to say my table's getting broken in, my new tablecloth. I really redecorated. If you want to see a fun video, I was in here fixing up my studio and so forth. I just want to bring some of these out a little more. If they don't want to be the green I want, then that's okay, I guess. I can try later with, oh, yellow. Yellow would do it over that, yeah. But I like my tree, it's coming. And you know, there's some whites still in there that like I say, I like some whites behind there. And some of the blues in there. Yeah, that's a nice tree now. If you step back and look, it's coming. Let me bring these out a little bit more. A little bit more. Oh, I think I see some of the light green in there now. Depends which part of the sponge that I'm pressing. Get some up here at the top of the painting. Yeah, you can overdo that too, so you can always stop, let it dry a little, and then decide, do I need more? Some of these could be coming out. There. Yeah, it's not a bad little piece so far. it's got things that need to be looked at and finished, but I can almost call it a finished sketch. So I cleaned off a lot off my palette with paper towels, got the mud out, mainly keeping colors I like that I will use. Loaded my palette, okay, my lovely sap greens, deep in regular sap and green gold. I put in all my blues, my indanthrone cobalt. I didn't do the manganese, but I put in cerulean because I found this, to me, cerulean and manganese blue hue are very similar, except that the cerulean has some granulation, but beautiful. And that's Sennelier brand. And then my yellows, lemon, nickel azul yellow, yellow ochre, quin gold, and then these reds and oranges, pyro orange. I don't use these as much, at least right now in this one, but they are colors that I love. Once you get to know and create your own palette, you know, just by trying colors that you love and you try them and you say, I love that, I'll keep rebuying that. Then you start to put those on your main palette. I have another palette, as you know. Okay, so we have this painting here, and we did the dry brush across, didn't we? We're going to do that again. I just, you know, with these paintings, you know, I could start from top to bottom and go, make sure this is, and do my sky first. I was going to maybe mask out this tree, and then I was thinking, you know, another really cool way of doing this, which I think I'll try, it may not work, I haven't done this in ages, is you just take some tape and you tape off your tree. And, I don't know, it might work at least to some degree. Something to try. You might enjoy doing that. You can make a whole bunch of trees this way. You can kind of cut off one side and make it uneven, right? And you know, just kind of rip that so that it's like a tree, not real perfect. I think I'm just gonna just do that for now to remind me, and then as I get closer, maybe I'll come in, or maybe we'll just kind of push this over. We could just push that, like, ooh, this is this is called spontaneity, guys. Just push that over as much as I can and give it an unevenness like a tree. Oh, wow, this is fun. I am running out of masking fluid, so that's on my list. I do use it whether people think you should or not, you know. Let's just do a little of that. I will maybe have to erase some of my pencil later. I don't know where my magic rub eraser went right now, but I have my other little eraser, pencil eraser. Yeah, okay, we're getting a little, this just happened on film. I just was thinking, why don't I do that? Then if I just come over this, ooh, you know, I can get that clean wash going across. Yes. Right now I'm just going to, I changed my land a little bit here. I think you can see that. I actually have some land just kind of dropping off there, about 2/3 the way down. And then I'm having some rocks here that I can try some more dry brush with. I do change things on my sketches oftentimes. I just think that, again, the sketch is to kind of find out what I liked and what I didn't. Okay, and then here we are. I'm hoping this is going to be dry enough. I can still block that even with paint on it. Excuse the wobbles here. It's either my board wobbling or the whatchamajigger there. I'm coming in halfway through to start my sparkle and not go too far. My first try at this, because this painting's quite large, I did try it and it was a little struggle. I have to be able to get close here, and I'm going to do that so you can see it, but I need to see it too. Otherwise I would just come straight across the whole piece. And ooh, we're dry brushing in there. I'm just going with the dry brush here for now. And if I want to bring in my washes, this is what I find works for me. If you think you want to just come in with the washes first and then bring your sparkle in, that's okay. This way, sometimes I like doing it this way. It's my way, is to see what I like. You know, what do I like? Where do I like the sparkle when I step away from this? You know, stand up and look down at it. That's something my professor always told us to do, is when you're painting. Oops, that wasn't supposed to happen. Every now and then you're supposed to come in and then paint and then stand up. And
I think today's one of those days where I've got things happening that are unplanned. Like that. I'm going to just soften that out before it gets too convicted there. And then we will lift it, and I can also see what the lighter values look like down there, which is beautiful. I'm going to have a lot of water down there anyway, so that should not be a problem. Alright, and coming with the rest of my indent throne that's on my palette here. I put a lot on I loaded that pocket, and we're going to keep going here. That actually looks like darker, doesn't it? Okay. Ooh. I think there's a little purple in there, that's why. I did wet it now as I come down the bottom here. More of a wet on wet, and some dry brush still. There's a little bit of non-control, which is also very fun in there, that sometimes it's going to be a little more dry brush and sometimes a little less. Okay. Pulling that back through it, kind of. Okay, I'm going to bring some of that really dark wash up at the top now. Keeping some of that sparkle though on the edge up there, maybe. Always want to have this, as this towel gets too wet, you need to switch it out because it doesn't help you control water if it's too wet. It's going to be a beautiful ocean. Doing what oceans do. Yeah. I kind of like that, how it... When you have a lot of paint, these can get very strong and beautiful. I'm wanting this to kind of lighten up as it goes toward my land. My tree again I put back in. Went over there. And just kind of making sure that there's some consistency there between. And yeah, we have some beautiful stuff happening now. I'm just going to bring this all the way down here because the water's going all the way to there, but my land is kind of here. Trying to avoid this right here. I can take a towel, and the towel's textured too, and I can kind of bring that out a little. I think this is kind of like phthalo blue when you lift it. It's a little unpredictable. Okay, I'm just trying to make all this flow together. And here, I like it. You have to look at it and say, what do I like or what do I want to change? You know, I like this here. I want that to flow a little more there. Just kind of, I want to say clean it up a little. Sort of my edge there. That's so nice. And there. Okay. I'm trying to get this large painting in there into the camera. I think that it's a larger paper, which I'm going to have to think about how to film. But it is beautiful. I hope that all that was getting on film. The colors are much more intense than here in my sketch. You'll see how that's the same color, but doesn't have that transparent richness that I'm getting on this Fabriano paper. So, hey. I kind of want to take a little, I might have gotten some purple, but it's okay in there. But some of that went to blooms, just I was a little wet in there. Trying to straighten that out. So I'm adding some paint in there. It's just waves in that water. We got sparkle a little down there. I may bring in more sparkle after it dries, but it's fresh, it's glorious, values are shifting. And then I think I'll go back up to the sky in a bit, but I'm going to mask that out. I didn't do it yet. I tried that on this prior piece, and now I'm going to let that dry. The thing I like too about having a sketch is, you know, again, I see what problems here I had with the color. So here I really intensified, and I've got this beautiful color in my water. So here's our painting again. I've moved my tripod for my camera, so we're going to try this. I bumped it too much, and it seems that putting it up higher might make a difference, and maybe we'll have a little better luck. So I'm going to now do the flat wash here and some of the sky, and then we'll do some branches and trees here. And I really just want to see how this all goes. Okay, my tree needs some branches, doesn't it? Alright, okay, so what do you want to do? This is again from my sketch, so I have something that I've been working from. And you can see that. Yeah, and so let's try and just, I'm not going to worry about right now the masking fluid, because I'm going to use a soft wash up in the sky here. And then we'll have some of this beautiful blue and maybe a little of that purple, but it's going to be in the form of a lighter wash. And then we'll put in some of the pink dry brush up there. After seeing my sketches, I mentioned, you know, I know what I liked and what I didn't, so I can choose or change things as I move along. I want to put some of that beautiful pink in there too, that Quin Rose. It's on the other, on this palette here. And some of this, I have some magenta, and I might put that, the Quin Rose on there, Quinacridone Rose. We'll put in some Quinacridone down here, the Sienna, and the Quinacridone Burnt Deep Gold, Quinacridone Deep Gold down in here, a little more vibrant colors. Okay, and some rocks we thought maybe, and then the grass is a little, I like how it dried, that dry brush there now. It looks kind of strange right now because we don't have a sky or anything. So we're going to go in there, take our brush here wet, and come in with some of these beautiful blues. And first we'll come in and wet this across. I found how much better that works. I wonder, I don't know yet where my head is going to end up doing this way. Hopefully you won't see it. That would be awesome. Going around that little mountain. Okay, there's that shimmering water, which we will go ahead with pretty soon. Now I'm going to get that flat brush good and wet, soak it through. I still am thinking about getting that toilet paper roll that we used in, I think it was college, and we wrapped a paper towel around it. I don't know where I heard about that, actually. And then we blotted it and so on. Oh yes, I have this beautiful cerulean. That might be fun to try too. I remember I put that out. So it's a little more of a greenish blue. I do like to mix my blues or my greens. That's just how I like to do it. You can decide how you want to. I'm hoping I can set my palette there without too much bonking today. I have to readjust things a little bit once in a while. And then we come in with our lovely flat washes of color. Ooh. That's beautiful. Okay. Might need a tad more water. You can, wipe your brush on the side of your container to kind of get, add some water and then take some back out. Or you can dab it like I did in the paper towel. press it into a thick wad of paper towels or something like that. And while that's sitting there, you know, my paper was wet, so I should have dry time to hopefully not get a, it took a little time there not to get a streak. Hopefully these will blend at this angle here. I'm going to sit down and see how this goes. We're learning how to make movies at the same time I'm learning some new dry brush technique here with y'all. That sienna is gorgeous here. So my land is just right here now. And so I'm just going to try this with you all there. And I'm going to get, I like having a little more room without the camera right on top of me. So that might be really terrific. Okay, we're going to try some dry brush in here like we did on the first one in our grounds here. I really enjoyed that. Oops. And with more vibrant color, I may be able to keep more more of the white here than I did before. I'm going in with my, I'm wondering if you can see me there, I'm not sure. My deep gold. And another thing about painting, you don't have to sit down all the time to paint. My teacher, my professor, had us standing up a lot. I'm just going, I'm going in with a little Queen Gold now. Okay, so now I've put in those branches and I've kind of outlined where my mountain will be, and it was dry enough there because I had lifted, so that dried faster than the sky. And then my grounds here, as you can see, I've got my rocks and I brought in a little bit of trunk information, and of course pretty soon when this is dry enough, which probably it is, I might be able to pull this off to see where our tree is here. Remember, I taped that down. Let's see. You have to be dry enough to do these things. You always gotta wait for things to dry. And, oops. I didn't tape that down good. I moved that so that it would be in the camera as I'm adjusting that. I really like where the camera is, I think. Oh, right, yeah, see? Oh, it's getting to be an interesting painting. Very vibrant compared again to that sketch. Alrighty, so I will go in with the sponging of the trees This is all very much like what we already did on the sketch, so I'm just kind of jumping a little forward so you're not on video forever here with me. I'm going to do some dry brush here with those wonderful Quin Deep Gold, and the sienna is very bright. I've kind of toned down some of that's almost orange because it's got Quin Coral, which is a very intense, beautiful color. And then here I've got this loaded. I want to see if it's dry. Now again, we have our sketch pad if we're not sure, which I have to remember to remind you and myself. So we practiced, remember, all of our different brushes, but just to see if it's dry or if it's wet. See, that's still pretty wet. Yeah, that's pretty wet. So you want to blot out a lot more water here. I'll do that. And my paper towel's getting really wet. And again, you have to throw those out. I go through a lot of paper towel. You might have to get that toilet paper roll. You'll see it in one of these videos pretty soon, methinks. All right, let's. I'm gonna trust that deep gold has a little more of an earthy brownishness to it. Okay, so here's our painting, and yep, it's up there. Okay, my camera's higher now, so I have to think about this a little ahead. And let's just see if I may or may not be able to put this in our video, but I thought we could try a little here to do the, like I said, I had in my sketch, we have the a little bit of dry brush of, I actually did the white in the sky. I hope you can see this. Let me check here, and hopefully the light is, well, okay, my light might be. So here, okay. And then I didn't go all the way across, but I was just practicing it, and I did have some white dry brush clouds. And I did have some skies. I should definitely show you this photo sometime of the sky that I saw that had some pink in it. So I put a little dry brush pink on this brush, and I need to make sure first that it's doing what I want. So I'm going back to my sketching or practicing pad and getting some dry brush happening. Okay. Oh, that is interesting. I mixed white with Quinacridone gold, so opaque white with Quinacridone gold, and I'm just kind of wanting to bring some of this into the, it isn't too dry, which it's already kind of dry. Let me load that again. Here it is. It's kind of white, but it's kind of pink, so I'll try and get some lovely dry brush over that blue, but just kind of just doing a little bit of stratus in the sky of pink effects. Whitish pink. It might, I hope it shows in pink. Oh yeah, it does. Okay. Just for a little bit of interest into the sky. Try to see it here. Okay. I might want to do a little white as well. More of the whitish. It isn't showing up on that pale blue as much as I'd hoped, so okay. It's a little better. Okay. And more of a dry brush effect here. Oh yes, okay. Just just wanted to have a little stratus cloud going there. And then we'll do a little, just a little bit of the Quin Rose also in the water, but we won't do it quite like this, but it'll be a soft, maybe that pink in there. And it just adds a little interest to our sky here. I like it to connect a little more than it is. It's so dry, but I don't want it, again, I'm trying not to get my brush too wet. I had some difficulty with my dry brush clouds at first, but I wanted to show you. I did kind of take them out and I reapplied them. Let's see. Well, when I lift it up, you might not be able to see it here. I'll get my light adjusted, but you can probably see this. I'll zoom in, and you can see I'm putting in some whites and some pinks, and I'm just kind of taking this dried brush, and it's kind of opened itself up as it dried. It's a pointed round, and then I'm just kind of going like waves of dry brush, kind of in a sort of a this motion that I'm showing you here, just kind of waving it along. And it's a little different than the dry brush straight across, isn't it? And so it's very subtle, but I think that I'm going to stay with that because the first time I tried it, it didn't go so well. I had to clean it up, take it off, and redo it, which you can do with watercolor. Okay, so that's it, and I think we'll take a look at this and see what we decide as far as finishing it. I don't know if we're straight or not straight there for you to look at. Okay. And hopefully you're getting enough light. Okay. So there we have it. We have taken our sketch and we've moved from this, which seemed kind of faint and not very vibrant, to much more vibrant colors and sparkle from that dry brush. Aren't you? I hope you're as excited as I am about the sparkle. I really love it. I started to put in the leaves. I put in some pink in my dry brush sky, which you saw, and you know, I'm ready now to probably do the final touches on this. I think I need a little more color here. I'm not totally sure. Maybe you can put a comment in this comment section what you think this might need, if it needs anything more. Sometimes, you know, that critiquing we talked about in the video on how to know when your work is finished, sometimes we need other opinions, and then we can kind of decide how much more we need. I think I need more leaves and a little more to that tree in the foreground. I may just leave the rest alone. I've got that soft dry brush in the sky here and a little pink here. I went real subtle because I found that the dry brush was getting disturbed if I was in there too much, because my paints are so strongly applied here, so concentrated, they can move a little still. So I'd rather not change that great contrast between the whites and lights and the intense color. I think that is what makes that painting dynamic. So thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think, and what, you know, if you have any thoughts on this particular painting, I'm welcome to hear them. And then I'm going to go a little further to finish it off and matte and frame it. So thank you again for watching my videos, and I hope that these are helpful to you. There's all kinds of videos here on, you know, how to matte and frame work, how to do things to make them hopefully easier for you, simpler and not so complicated that we don't want to move forward. I want us to keep wanting to paint and create and enjoy the joy and the play of watercolor. So I wish that for you as well. Don't be too critical on yourself. I know I have that potential, and that's why I'm doing these videos, to keep me going and to keep myself having fun, being inspired, and you all inspire me too. Thank you so much for subscribing and also being interested in this beautiful medium, the most wonderful spiritual one. So thank you again. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video. I'm really looking forward to it. Some more details, some more wet on wets. We'll do a little of all these wonderful techniques we're learning together. See you soon. Have a blessed day.